Hi, it's your girl Maya J, and I'm here to kind of talk to you about a couple things that may help you out in whatever you're going through, if you're going through similar situations. Um, as you guys know, I am a student at Radford University now, and I recently moved to Radford, Virginia, and so far things have been going good. I've been working through the problems that I was having in the beginning, with finding a job and figuring out exactly what I want to do. So, um, basically today is July the 6th, I believe, and I actually no, it's July the 7th, but I actually had to sign a lease or choose whether or not I wanted to stay and stuff, and they were supposed to give me, some heads up or warning to let me know, like, hey, are you going to resign for the year? And I didn't get that call or that notice or anything, and I thought I had time, so today I call and they're like, "Oh, we're all booked up. All we have is 3 bedrooms, which are about 475 plus utilities." So, I was not happy with that. But because currently I'm staying in a 4 bedroom and it's 425. So that was a big jump in my budget. So I'm like, "Oh my God, how am I gonna do 475?" Like, so, and then they wanted the deposit too, which was also 475. So, mind you, like, I'm taking online classes and it's gonna cost me about a total of 781.50. So it's gonna cost me a little bit of money to get these online classes done that I'm taking currently. And now I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because I cannot. If I use that money to put towards rent, my security deposit, then I cannot afford to, you know, pay for school and vice versa. Like, it's one or the other basically. It's a dilemma that I'm having right now. Like, they're gonna allow me to get on a payment plan, but the payment plan is only helps but so much. Like, I could pay it all off in August if they let me wait till then, but they're not going to. So they don't have that as a choice. But basically, I'm stuck in a trap because I really didn't know what to do and all that stuff. And then I just asked her, I was like, "So is there anybody looking to sublease or anything in a 4 bedroom?" And she's like, "Actually, yes, we have one." Like, I don't know why they don't just tell you these things instead of you having to dig around for information. Like, but I literally had to ask a bunch of questions to finally get that someone else is subleasing their 4 bedroom. Yeah. So, mind you, I'm already like heated and stuff, and she's telling me like, "Okay, well, this one's available and her name is blah blah blah, and it'll be you don't have to pay a deposit if you do it this way." And she was like, "It'll be 425 a month, basically." What did she say? No, it'll be 415 a month, basically what you're paying now, and plus water and what is it, which is $10, and then utilities. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's what I'm paying now. Like, I'm good with that, fine. So I was just like, why didn't you tell me this before? But basically, it worked out in that I don't have to pay a deposit because even if I wanted to stay in this room, in this exact room, in this apartment, then I would have had to pay the deposit for it. And I would have had to pay, well, she said I would not have had to pay the application fee again, but I would have had to pay a deposit on top of the first month's rent by August the 1st. Now, I don't get my check change or anything for school until August the 22nd. So I have to stretch all the way till then, like, with all of these bills I got. And work was going great. Like, I recently got hired at Walmart 2.5 weeks ago. So did my application process, went through everything, bam, bam, bam. It was like a quick process, and then I'm working. So I was working, and um, she had scheduled my availability wrong. First, she said that I was not. I told her my availability was from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. So I had to change my availability because on Sundays I can't work on Sundays because, for one, like, the bus doesn't run on Sunday. So I was like, I have to change this schedule. So I changed my availability, filled out a whole nother form, gave it back to her, and she's like, "Okay, this isn't going to be active until the next 3 weeks." So I'm like, okay. So basically, I had about 3 days this week where I had to work from 5:30 to 10 o'clock p.m. And as you know, I'm relying on the bus right now to get me back and forth to work. So I can't. The bus starts at 7:22 a.m. and it ends at 7 o'clock. That's when the last bus runs. Like, it's an hour walk for me to walk from my job home. And it is a very long, boring, like, exhausting walk. It's not like something quick down the street. Like, it's a long walk. So, especially after a 9-hour shift. So, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have to, like, fix this because I can't keep doing this. But it was only 3 days, so I was putting up with it. And since I told them that I can't work Sunday, they have completely, like, disclaimed me. Like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, my supervisor was asking me, she's like, oh, so you can only work one day now? I'm like, no, I can work every day except Sunday. Like, that's it. I only changed Sunday. What's the big deal? And apparently the managers are making a huge fuss over it. And they're like, well, what was her availability when you hired her? And blah, blah, blah. Like, first of all, managers are very rude and very inconsiderate and very just plain old, don't do their jobs. Like, I seriously have been trying to get my numbers for the jewelry department for how many freaking the whole time I've been here, and it's been 2 weeks. So that'll give you, like, I've been asking for them numbers daily, and they're like, go back, get your numbers, go back, get your numbers. Nobody's giving them to me yet. I went to the head store manager, and he was supposed to give them to me. He did not. And I went back to check on it later that day, and he's like, no, I still don't have it. Didn't give me an estimation or anything. Didn't say nothing. He just said I don't have it. I'm like, okay. So I go back to work, man, my business, whatever. And basically the manager leaves like 30 minutes after for the whole day. I'm like, I needed the numbers. Like, where are you going? First of all, besides that, I was not trained. Like, they threw me out in the sharks, straight up. They did not tell me exactly what to do. They didn't give me no manual or nothing. Like, them stupid modules on the computer do what? Nothing. Like, oh my gosh, it was just a waste of time. Like, I had to work the front cashier as cashier in the front in the cigarettes aisle for my first day at work because the person who was supposed to train me was not there, right? So this next day, she was finally there, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna get the best training of your life, blah 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 blah. Like, she's gonna make everything super easy. So I go back there, and she's like, okay, go do inventory. I'm like, how the heck do I do that? Like, and she's like, okay, so if you're gonna check this customer out, I'm like, um, it's not the same register. If you know Walmart, or if you worked at Walmart, you know that the registers up front are different from the register in the jewelry department. Like, one is way older than the other. So I'm like, what? How? And I'm just flipping out in my head, like, what is wrong with these people? Like, and every single day since then, they're like, do this, do this, and get this done. And I'm like, I've never done any of those things you listed. Like, what makes you think that I can just pick up and do it? Like, and there's so many steps to everything, and it's like they expected me to know when I told them, for one, that I don't have experience. I've never had experience in sales at all because, for one, I've never had to. Like, I have always worked clerical work. That is what I'm best at. Like, sales is not my field, even though I'm doing a pretty good job at it, considering. But it just pissed me off that, like, my managers have not been there for me to help me through this. And, like, I kept reading these horrible, bad things about working for Walmart on the internet. And I'm like, this isn't true. My first day, I was like, oh, this isn't true. They were so cool and blah, blah, blah. My managers haven't bothered me and such and such. And it is a lie. Like, they are horrible. Like, they really do think that they're above you, so you better do whatever for them. Like, don't treat people like they're not people. Like, I hate when people do that. Like, I'm talking to you. Talk to me like a human being. If I ask you for something, give me a time frame. Don't just say I'll get it done. Come back later. Okay, I come back 2 hours later. You still ain't got it done. So what's next? I still don't have it done. And that was it. That's all he said. And I'm like, okay. I'll check back later then. And it's like, they are all such jerks, like, and I'm so upset at the fact that they took it out on my schedule. Like, just because I said I can't work Sunday, they have straight up said, basically, that they're not gonna put me on a clock at all. I'm literally working 2 days, one 6-hour day, one 8-hour day, in the next 2 weeks. Tell me how I'm supposed to live off of that. Like, how is that okay? My availability is from Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. And somewhere out of that, they could not find any way to get around that. Just because I said I cannot work on Sunday, they're gonna do this to me. And I have been working 29 and 33 hours a week these last 2 weeks. So how in the world am I only scheduled for 2 days out of 2 weeks? That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I have not ever had to deal with people like this before. Like, I don't even know what to do, honestly. Like, I don't know if I should quit right now, find another job. Like, I don't know what to do, or if this is just temporary. Like, they're just having one of those weeks or something. And even though I doubt it, I really do. But anyway, that's the biggest stressor out of my day, like finding that out. Like, it wasn't even the apartment thing at first, because the apartment thing ended up working out where I don't have to pay a deposit because I just move a building over to another room and I'm good. Like, I don't have to pay the deposit. So that worked out. But then I checked my schedule for work for the next 3 weeks and I'm pissed. Like, more than pissed. And I know it's because of the managers. Like, I know it. One of them has it out for me already just because I told him I can't work Sunday. So I don't know what to do. Like, I've tried, like, I looked for other jobs today to see if there was anything else out hiring because I'm sick, tired already of the way they're treating me there. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm sick and tired yet because I haven't been there long enough for that, but I am tired of them. I really am. Like, no one should be treated like that. No one. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. So, you know what? I have to just move on about my business. Like, and you know what? Earlier, I was talking to God, and one thing I was reminded of is that things like this happen for a reason. Like, you're not meant to be there. That's all it means. It does not mean that you're not capable for the job, or like it won't, like, you're not going to, you know, get somewhere with it, or blah blah blah. It doesn't mean this or that or the other. It just means simply that this is not for you. The next thing is better for you. Like, the next thing in some type of way will benefit you more than where you are currently at. So have faith. Like, have faith in God and His abilities and His work. Because He's doing His thing. He's working it out before you even know there's a problem. Because I was about to flip out over that apartment thing earlier. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a freaking place to live in during the school year. Like, and it's July. School year starts in August. I'm tripping. Like, oh my god, I don't have nowhere to go. So the moment I started freaking out, I calmed down. I'm like, he already worked this out. I know he did. And immediately after I asked her that question, she's like, oh yeah, we have a person, leasing, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'll take it. Like, he worked it out before I even got to worry. He worked it out, and so that's why this same situation applies. Every situation applies. You just have to firmly believe it, like, and you have to accept that everything is going to be okay. He's handling things. You have to put your trust in him wholeheartedly. So today was an experience because I'm just like so over this whole moving out thing, and I'm tired of it already. Like, moving out is no joke. It takes too long. It's exhausting. Like, it's stressful the first couple months because you have to get your pay schedule coordinated to your bills and such. Like, it is just a headache, especially if you're living with roommates, because then you have to deal with your roommate problems. Like, so this has been a very trying summer so far. Like, honestly, it has not been smooth I don't think there's no way to possibly make the summer smooth. But if I had to suggest some things like you could do to ease the moving transition if you're getting your first place and all of that stuff, you need to definitely, number one, save up at least 2 months rent before you move out. Do not, I repeat, do not sign a lease unless you have 2 months rent saved up. Don't. Because you know what? You're setting yourself up. Like, you're gonna be stressed out trying to figure things out. And because definitely, like, if it wasn't for saving up, then I would have been gone by now. Like, I'm pretty sure I would have been at home by now. But another thing is absolutely have a financial plan. Okay? Number two, have a financial plan. Listen, have a financial plan. Like, you cannot just move out and be like, I'm gonna pay rent and I'm gonna put like $50 into food or whatever, and then that's gonna be it for the week, and then the next 2 weeks I'm gonna pay $50 and buy some food. So I'm gonna spend $100 a month on food, and that's it. Like, you can't do that. Things change, like things happen. And $100 for food a month is not enough, believe it or not. Like, I know it sounds like it would be plenty, but it's not. It really is not. It's not realistic. Like, as expensive as food is these days, and oh my goodness, it is absolutely not cheap to live on your own. But you know what? It's cheaper than living on campus. So you just have to be a very smart financial planner. If you're not, then I don't recommend it. But if you are, you can do this. It's easy. It's doable. Like, it ain't easy, but it's doable. So yeah, problems. But and it's like one thing will arise after the next. Like, this person wants money, the next person wants money, the next person wants money, and they all want it at the wrong time when your rent's due. So don't get discouraged. Do not, because you can and you will make it. Just put your faith in God and trust that He works it out. Like, He worked it out before you knew about it. So don't even think for a second that you were forgotten about, or that for some reason like this is gonna blow you over. If you don't believe it, then you're on your own, pretty much. That's how that works. Like, if you don't believe in, God's powers and put your trust in Him, then you're on your own. So just do it. Like, you can be successful. And don't stress yourself out. Please don't, because that's one of the worst things you can do. Absolutely the worst. Stressing yourself out over these things that keep happening, bills piling up, I can't get a job, then you get a job and stuff like this happens, and then, things will happen consistently and you'll have to deal with them as it goes, but take it one day at a time and do not let it stress you out. And one of the things that I do to avoid this is I actually fall asleep. Like, if I feel myself getting overwhelmed with stress, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out, I take a moment, relax, breathe a little bit, talk to the man above, and I take a nap. And I wake back up and I feel normal again. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be okay. All I gotta do is this. Like, cause you know what? Most of the solutions to my problems come to me while I'm sleeping, because I'm calm and I'm able to receive it. Like, you cannot receive solutions through anger and worry. Like, you have to relax yourself before you receive the solutions that He has for you. And that's one of the things that I've learned. So everybody, it's doable. It really is. All these first timers out here, it really is. You can accomplish this goal of moving out mom and dad's house or whatever, and whatever you're trying to do, whatever your intention is for whatever reason, like, you can do it. You really have to and take advantage of the fact that you are in control of yourself. Like, you have to take that self-recognition moment and digest it, because if you don't, then no one can really help you. Like, no one. So just take a moment and breathe whenever you get a stressful situation or something is presented to you that you're freaking out about. Take a moment and inhale and exhale and shut up and focus on something. Like, just relax, like, clear your mind. And then once you clear your mind, take a nap. Wake back up refreshed. start all over again with a clear mind and receive your solutions. So I just had to make this video because I was like really going through it, and I just I needed to get this off my chest because I know there's some people out there like me, and I know that there are people who are not having the perfect time or whatever, and I know that there are people out there struggling too, you know. So here's a video dedicated to y'all, and hopefully this helps somebody out, and if not, it definitely helps me. So I love you guys, man. See ya.